Good evening, everybody out there in YouTube land. Introducing Peaceful Protester, coming to you live from Santa Monica's 3rd Street Promenade with Kelley.
Thank you, Ethan Hyatt. Hello, and welcome to my TV show on the YouTube network with a potential audience of over 2 billion people. Coming to you live from the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, where I am peacefully protesting and advocating for the homeless here on the 3rd Street Promenade and standing up for the rights of human beings to survive right here in Santa Monica and in Los Angeles County and in California and the whole US of A, the whole wide world if we can do something about it. But we have to start somewhere, so we might as well start right where I am, right here in Santa Monica, California. And we all need to be speaking up for better government all the time and making things better. And that's why tonight I'm going to start off with some songs about common sense gun laws in the USA. We had another mass shooting today in this country. It's a shame. We have a mass shooting every day. We can do better than that. They passed common sense gun laws back in 1934. They outlawed Tommy guns and briefcase guns, all kinds of machine guns and gadget guns of all sorts, sawed-off shotguns. They criminalized those things back in 1934. And we need to stand up and bring some common sense gun laws to the USA today. We need to make things better, because it's a shame for people to have to suffer these tragedies like the one that happened today in Minnesota. Little kids at a Catholic school. That's a shame that people should have to worry about their kids going to school or going to church or going to concerts or people going to shop. It's a shame that we can't get control of this gun epidemic. We tried to fix things when we had a pandemic here in this country, but we've been having a gun epidemic for generations, for quite a while now, and we need to stand up and say, listen, we can do something about this. We can get these weapons of war off of our streets. We can make sure that common sense gun laws are put in place. We can make sure that people who shouldn't have guns don't have guns. We can have background check for every gun sold and make it harder for people that would do bad things with weapons. We can make it harder for them to do those things. We could have a gun check law in place in every state in this country that would make sure, I mean, we live in the 21st century. We can make sure that everybody who shouldn't have a gun doesn't have one with a thorough background check. That isn't too much to ask. We've got AI doing all of these jobs. Let's use the AI to make sure that nobody who shouldn't have a gun gets one. Let's make sure that AI does a background check on every person who purchases a gun in this country, and make sure that everybody who owns a gun knows where the gun is and is securing it. Have you killed a gun today? Have you sent a gun away? Have you helped to solve a crime before it's done? See, the gun won't even mind. It's not part of humankind. Everyone should kill a gun. Have you killed a gun today? Have you put a gun away? Have you ended it before its deadly run? See, the gun won't feel no pain. It doesn't even have a brain. Everyone should kill a gun. Everyone should kill a gun today. There's more guns than people in the US of A. Guns don't feel, they don't bleed, they don't cry. Everyone should kill a gun. Everyone should kill a gun. Now you know I'm not a fool. I know guns are just a tool, but these deadly tools have been ruling us too long. We're in the middle of a war. The enemy's inside our door. Everyone should kill a gun. Everyone should kill a gun today. It really pisses off the NRA. Guns don't feel, they don't bleed, they don't cry. Everyone should kill a gun. Everyone should kill a gun today. There's more guns than people in the US of A. Guns don't feel, they don't bleed, they don't cry. Everyone should kill a gun. You know, I was doing some reading and I read that in 2023 there were more than 46,000 gun deaths in the United States. That was more gun deaths than all of the wars going on around the world that year. And I'm sure we're doing the same thing this year. We're having more gun deaths here in the United States, more than all of the people that are dying in the wars all around the world. And we're just sitting here and letting it continue to happen. We need to tell our leaders, our public servants, we need some common sense gun laws in this country. Everybody needs to be part of it. We need to make sure that we end this war on our poor innocent people here in this country. Now you know I'm not a fool. I know guns are just a tool, but these deadly tools have been ruling us too long. We're in the middle of a war. The enemy's inside our door. Everyone should kill a gun. Everyone should kill a gun today. It really pisses off the NRA. Guns don't feel, they don't bleed, they don't cry. Everyone should kill a gun. Everyone should kill a gun today. There's more guns than people in the US of A. Guns don't feel, they don't laugh, they don't love. Everyone should kill a gun. I feel for all those people that are suffering because our leaders don't stand up and move forward to bring some common sense gun laws to the USA. They did it back in the last century. Back in 1934, they outlawed Tommy guns, machine guns, briefcase guns, cane guns, all sorts of gadget guns. They outlawed sawed-off shotguns. We can do the same thing today. We just need leaders who will stand up. Listen, President Trump, if you really want to be a dictator who ends the crime in this country, why don't you take away all of the weapons of war from our streets. Take away all the weapons of war from all of your supporters. I'd like to see you do that. That would do more to end the violence in the streets here in the United States if you took away all the weapons of war from all of your supporters and other people. I'm not saying it's just your supporters who have weapons of war, but a lot of them do. So why don't you just make an executive order to take away all the weapons of war all around the country and end some of this gun violence? And then you can talk about becoming a dictator someday, although we will not let you. We certainly don't want a dictator who tries to end crime in some cities and not others, and will just let mass shootings, mass killings go on like they've been happening in this country. What we need is some good common sense leaders who will get together. You know, President Trump, I bet if you put forth a law, an amendment to take assault rifles off of the streets of the United States, you could probably get a lot of Democrats to vote with you. I sure wish they would. If you could put something like that in place, I think we could all get behind you. If you would put forth a law that would ban assault rifles, ban assault weapons from our streets, or from anybody from having them here in the United States. We're spending more and more money on weapons. People are buying weapons. We have more guns than we have human beings in the United States of America. Somebody said we have about 450 million guns in this country. We don't need 450 million guns. We don't need people being killed every day by guns that shouldn't be on our streets. We don't need people with mental problems to be able to purchase a gun. We don't need people that are spewing hate to be able to purchase guns. We need to make it harder for these people to get guns and to make it harder for them to commit these atrocities, and to make it harder for these people that would spread hate to use guns to promote their hate. And we need to speak out against hate. If you're out there and you're speaking bile on the internet or wherever, we need to shout you down. You're promoting evil if you're promoting violence against somebody because of their race or their religion, their ethnicity, their beliefs, their gender. Whether they're Republican or Democrat, doesn't matter. Promoting violence against anybody is evil. We don't do that here in the US of A. We talk about debating things. Keep debating and moving forward as a democracy, as a constitutional democratic republic. We need to keep moving forward. So if you're egging any of these people with mental problems, going through mental episodes, if you're egging them on by spewing hate online or wherever, spewing hate against Jews or Muslims or gays or straights or Republicans or Democrats, whoever you're spewing hate against online or wherever you might be spewing your hate, you are adding to the problem. We need to be standing up for debate and speaking out against violence and hatred whenever we hear it, whenever we see it. And we need to tell our leaders to stand up for common sense gun laws. Trump, you want to do something? Go ahead and put a gun law, a assault weapons ban on the books, and Democrats will get behind you, and you will help end crime in the U.S. If you really want to help end crime in the U.S., get a assault weapons ban on the books, and the Democrats will join right in. And we'll all be happy when we have some common sense gun laws on the books. Some more, because it's been done before. Back in 1934, they started passing gun laws. In 1968, they passed some more. In 1994, they passed assault weapons ban after Jim Brady and President Reagan were shot, but they let that assault weapons ban die out in 2004 for some stupid reason. And we need to get some good assault weapons bans going again and make it harder for every person who does own a gun to get a gun. We need to make it harder for people to be able to have a weapon that can kill multiple numbers of people at any moment. That is just a shame that we have so many people with these weapons of war on our streets, and we need to speak out. We don't need to settle for this happening every day in our country. Poor little children are being killed, and the NRA and other people say the only answer to a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Well, we got plenty of guns out there, and they're not keeping these things from happening. Most of the time, when a person does these atrocities, they end up killing themselves. So, you good guys with the guns, you're not doing your job if you think the good guys with the guns are going to keep these mass shootings from happening. Well, it ain't happening that way. You good guys with the guns are showing up after the fact. So we need to make sure we have less guns in our society, that we have less mass shootings every day. We need to get upset about this. We need people to get upset about a mass shooting happening every day in this country. For little kids to have to go to school and practice gun drills in this country, what a shame. That's a shame on this country. No little kid should have to practice gun drills, active shooter drills. No little kid should have to do that in school. They should be playing games and learning to read and write and singing songs and enjoying and learning to live with each other peacefully. No matter your race or your religion, your ethnicity, your beliefs. And we need to be promoting equal justice, equal opportunity, equal rights. And we need to be having our kids have a safer, better education here in the United States of America, instead of worrying about being shot when they go to school. That's a shame. It's a shame, USA. No reason for every child to have to worry about getting shot when they go to school, or somebody to be worried about going to the grocery store or to a concert or to any kind of event and being shot. Nobody should have to worry about that here in the United States of America. We need our leaders, our public servants, to stand up and pass some common sense gun laws. Get rid of the weapons of war off of our streets and say no to the NRA. Tell the NRA and everybody who would stand with them they're wrong and that they have not done a good job of keeping the United States safe. As I said in 2023, over 46,000 human beings were killed by guns in the United States of America, more than all of the wars all around the world that year. And we're probably doing the same thing today. So we need to stand up for common sense gun laws and say no to the NRA. Let's say no to the NRA. Tell those gun pimp boys, take their killing toys and get the hell away. Let's say no to to the NRA. Let's say no to the NRA. So everyone doesn't need a gun just to get through another day. Let's say no to the NRA. You know, it's a shame where we've gotten to in this country as far as weapons of war on our streets goes. You know, the NRA, when they first started out, they were starting a group so that they could promote responsible gun ownership, to make sure that people knew how to use their guns correctly so they wouldn't be killing people. And then as it went along, they became more and more about getting any kind of weapon they wanted on our streets. That's what the NRA promoted. Anything that the Army has, we should be able to have right here on our streets. That's what they're saying. That's just stupid. I mean, we don't let people have tanks and we don't let people have missile launchers. We shouldn't let them have weapons of war on our streets. We need to say no to these people, and we need to say no to anybody who's in government who will be supported by the NRA or groups like that. We need to have leaders who will stand up for common sense gun laws. Let's say no to the NRA. If your congressman takes money from them, vote the other way. Let's say no to the NRA. Let's say no to the NRA. So everyone doesn't need a gun just to get through another day. Let's say no to the NRA. Too many people have been dying. Too many sad songs have been sung. Too many families left to crying. Too many death knells have been rung. Let's say no to the NRA. So everyone doesn't need a gun just to get through another day. Let's say no to the NRA. Let's say no to the NRA. If your congressman takes money from them, vote the other way. Let's say no to the NRA. Too many politicians without solutions. Too many throw their hands up in the air. Now they want to legalize silencers to end noise pollution. You gotta know, they just don't care. Let's say no to the NRA. So everyone doesn't need a gun just to get through another day. Let's say no to the NRA. We can do it. It's been done before. We can bring common sense gun laws to the USA. And you know, right here in California, we need to follow up on all of our gun laws. We need to make the background checks that we have in place, we need to make those harder. We need to follow up on all of those so we don't have anybody with domestic violence flags, red flags, getting guns or keeping their guns. We need to follow up on things. We need to show that progressive government can make a difference and that we can keep guns out of people's hands that shouldn't have them. We need to show that something can work right here in California. We need to show that we can make sure that people who are going through mental episodes don't have a gun. We need to show that we can take away weapons of war from people that are having problems and follow up on them and make sure that every gun is registered here in California that is owned. We need to make sure that we can show there's a different way to do it instead of just saying, well, it's all coming from outside of the state. Okay, that's a problem, but we need to do the best we can right here in California. We need to end mass shootings and multiple shootings and shootings of all kind right here in California. And certainly we need to get rid of all the weapons of war that we can. I know that the Supreme Court fights against every law that California makes about gun control, but we need to keep pushing to make common sense gun laws right here in California. Let's say no to the NRA. Tell those gun pimp boys take their killing toys and get the hell away. Let's say no to the NRA. Let's say no to the NRA. So everyone doesn't need a gun just to get through another day. Let's say no to the NRA. If you don't know what the NRA is, it's the National Rifle Association. And they're a big reason why we're not having any of these common sense gun laws passed in the USA. Because they're spending so much money, they're putting money into all these politicians' election campaigns. They're giving all these people a lot of money to say, we like guns. That's what they're giving them money to do. And we need to get out there and say, if you take any money from the NRA, you need to be voted out of office, or you need to be not elected into office in the first place. We need to tell these people this is important. We need common sense gun laws passed in the USA. So let's say no to the NRA. If your congressman takes money from them, vote the other way. Let's say no to the NRA. Let's say no to the NRA. So everyone doesn't need a gun just to get through another day. Let's say no to the NRA. So President Trump, if you're listening, why don't you pass an amendment to the Second Amendment and make sure that we get all the weapons of war off of our streets. You really want to do something to end crime in this country? Get a law out there that will get the weapons of war off of our streets in the United States and make it harder for people to commit crimes with guns in the United States. Then everybody will cheer you, okay? But until then, you're just trying to be a big bully. You're not really getting anything done because we have more people shot in this country and killed by guns than all of the wars all around the world. So we need leaders who will pass some common sense gun laws. Let's say no to the NRA. If your congressman takes money from them, vote the other way. Let's say no to the NRA. Let's say no to the NRA. So everyone doesn't need a gun just to get through another day. Let's say no to the NRA. Let's say no to the NRA. That's right. Get out and tell your leaders. Tell your leaders, let's bring some common sense gun laws to the USA. We don't need to have a mass shooting every day in this country. We need to stand up for the rights of children to be able to enjoy their childhood without even thinking about being shot when they go to school. It's a shame, United States of America. It is a shame. Mother, there are too many of you crying. Brother, far too many of you dying. We've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Father, there's no need to escalate. War is not not the answer, 'cause only love can conquer hate. We've got to find a way to bring some understanding here today. Picket signs and picket lines, don't punish me with brutality. Just talk with me and you will see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? Sharing that with the homeless. Mother, mother, who are they to say we're wrong? Who are they to judge us just because our hair is long? We've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Picket signs and picket lines, don't punish me with brutality. Just talk with me and you will see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? Have a good night, Chris. Good to see you. Peace. That's right. We got to keep working towards a better day. And that includes having common sense gun laws in the USA. We can't settle for things the way they are. We had leaders in 1934 who actually thought, okay, a lot of people are using Tommy guns, machine guns out there on the streets. We need to change some laws to make sure that people don't use machine guns and Tommy guns out on our streets. That's what they did. We had leaders who stood up and said, listen, there's a problem in this country and we need to get something done. Oh, sure, it kept going through the courts and they had to keep fighting against what people said the Second Amendment was about. Of course, we all know the Second Amendment, when it was passed, they had muskets that they had to put powder in and little musket balls, and not everybody could own the weapons, whatever weapons they wanted. But, you know, when people started having Tommy guns and machine guns and killing in the streets, then the leader said, listen, we can make sure that not everybody has a machine gun on our streets. Not everybody has a weapon of war on our streets. We can do that. And they passed laws in 1934. And they had to keep working through the courts. In 1968, we had some more common sense gun laws passed. And as I said, in 1994, after President Reagan and Jim Brady were shot, they passed the assault weapons ban, and that lasted for about 10 years, and then we let that go away, and since then we've been having more mass shootings in this country. We can do better. We can demand of our leaders that they find some answers. This idea that we can't do anything about all these shootings, that is just insane. They say the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is to give another guy a gun, a good guy a gun. So that means we've got more than 450 million guns out in the streets, and we're still having mass shootings every day. It ain't working. That program ain't working. So we need to make sure that we find a better program. One where everybody has a background check for every gun sold, and that we get the weapons of war off of our streets, and that we limit the magazine capacities, and that we make sure that these little guns can't be turned into machine guns, and that we hunt down the ghost guns. There's a lot to do, but we got to start. We have to get it working in the right direction. It isn't going to happen overnight because we have more guns than people in this country, but we have to start moving in the right direction to make sure that we end this war against our human beings here in the United States. Mass shootings every day. That is just a shame. We can do better. We'll come through. We'll come through. A better day is on its way for me and you. And we'll come through. We'll come through. We'll come through. Any day, skies of gray will turn blue, and we'll come through. I know times are bad. I know people are suffering and so many loved ones are sad. But we'll come through. We'll come through. We'll come through. Oh yes, we will. We'll come through. We'll come through. Any day. Skies of gray will turn blue, and we'll come through. I know times are tough, and I know people are suffering, and so many people had enough, but we'll come through. We'll come through. We'll come through. Oh yes, we will. We'll come through. We'll come through. Any day, skies of gray will turn blue, and we'll come through. We will come through. We'll come through. We will come through. We'll pass some common sense gun laws in the USA. We'll come through. We will someday. We'll pass some common sense gun laws in the USA. We will come through. We can do it. Tell your leaders, your public servants, it's time to pass common sense gun laws in the USA. Make sure that everybody who owns a gun has a thorough background check, and that we get a lot of those weapons of war off of our streets. We shouldn't have to demand our children have active shooter drills. We should be demanding our leaders bring common sense gun laws to the USA. We'll come through. We'll come through. any day. Skies of gray will turn blue, and we'll come through. We will come through. 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 That's right. We just need to stand up and tell our leaders, our public servants, bring common sense gun laws to the USA. Listen, Trump, if you're serious about ending crime on the streets of America, bring some common sense gun laws. Don't be a shill for the weapons manufacturers in this country. Stand up and get some common sense gun laws passed in this country. Then maybe people will think you're just not a big bully. Get some common sense gun laws. Tell all of your Republican friends to vote for common sense gun laws, and let's get some of those weapons of war off of our streets. How about that? That would be fantastic. I stand with anybody who wants to get weapons of war off of our streets. I don't care what your political denomination is. And we need to stand up against racism and hatred and violence against people because of their race or their religion, their ethnicities, their beliefs, their gender, whether they're rich or poor, whether they're homeless or not, whether they are mentally disabled or not. We need to stand up for the rights of everybody to speak their mind in this country without being threatened with violence, and practice their religious beliefs without being threatened with violence, and have their heritage without being threatened with violence. We need to speak out against those who would spread hate speech, whether it's anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, homophobia, straitophobia, whether it's against Christians or Jews or whatever religion, atheists. We need to stand up for everybody's rights to believe and think and be themselves in this country without spreading hate and promoting violence against other people. We need to stand up for the First Amendment in this country. Our president recently said that he wants to ban burning the flags in this country. He wants to ban flag burning in this country. Listen, Mr. President, you might want to look at that Constitution. You might want to look at what the Supreme Court said about flag burning in this country. They said it's a part of the First Amendment free speech. It's a symbolic form of free speech, and it's covered under the First Amendment of our Constitution. The First Amendment of our Constitution says, Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. And that's what I'm doing here tonight. I'm speaking out for the rights of those human beings that have been living in our streets, sleeping in our streets. I'm speaking out for the rights of poor children that are having to go through active shooter drills in schools. I'm speaking out for the rights of people, of poor children who have to spend time in active shooter drills instead of getting a good public education because we're not spending enough money on public education in the USA and right here in California. Right here in California, we need to be making sure that these children can be safe and secure in their schools, and that they can have a good public education, and they can leave school knowing that they have the basics to chart their own destiny in this life. We need to stand up for the rights of everybody. That ain't too much to ask. So keep speaking out. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Cause when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about hope. It's about joy. It's about bring some home to your little girls and boys. It's about joy. It's about hope. It's about enough hope to keep them off the dope. Cause when the hope and the joy are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about joy. It's about hope. It's about you. It's about me. It's about you and me working towards equality. It's about me. It's about you. It's about saying Black Lives Matter too. Cause when you and me are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about you. It's about me. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor, se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor, se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz y amor. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Evenu shalom alechem, evenu shalom alechem, evenu shalom alechem, evenu shalom, shalom, shalom alechem. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Cause when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about love. 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 Oh, it's all about love. That's right, that's what I'm talking about, peace and love. I'm working towards a better day for everybody. And part of that is by bringing some common sense gun laws to the USA. Yeah, I'm gonna keep talking about that tonight. At least two children were killed today in Minnesota, and many injured just for going to school. And we need to speak out against anybody who would threaten people that are Catholic. If you're spreading hate speech about Catholics, about Catholicism, you're part of the problem. You're part of the evil. If you're spreading hate speech about Jews, you're part of the evil. You're part of the problem. If you're spreading hate speech about Muslims, you're part of the evil. You're part of the problem. If you're threatening government officials, whether it be police officers, ICE officers, or President Trump, if you're threatening them with violence or promoting that violence should come to these people, you're promoting evil. You're part of the problem. We need to stand up against hate and hate speech and stand up for the rights of everybody to thrive and survive in this constitutional democratic republic. And And we need to make sure that we stand up for the rights of those people that have been used for generations for their labor, but not been given their rights. But we don't want to promote violence. If you're out there saying, well, we need to stand up against these ICE officers and we need to bring violence to them or to our National Guards or whatever, if you're promoting violence against these groups, I say you're part of the problem. You're evil. You're part of the problem. Because here in the United States, we have a legal process that we go through. It doesn't always work. I know, I've been through it a few times trying to stand up for First Amendment rights right here on this promenade and other places. But we need to continue using that legal process, that judicial process, and not think that we're going to have some sort of revolution that's going to overtake the bad guys, because most likely it'll just create some more bad guys. Some people have been talking about the French Revolution. Why? We need something like the French Revolution. Read up on it. It wasn't that pretty. It wasn't that pretty. I think we could do something a little better than have a French Revolution. I think we could get more people out to vote, and you people, young people, need to get involved and get out there and run for office. Get out there and promote people who would make things better. Don't talk about violence. Don't talk about giving up. Oh, there's no hope. They're all the same. Both parties are the same. You can't do anything. Get out there and get involved. Look at the civil rights movement. Look at the civil rights movement where they suffered plenty. Look at John Lewis. Look at John Lewis and Martin Luther King Jr. They suffered plenty and made great change in this country. And we need more people who will get out there. I'm not saying that everybody should have to be beaten or killed for us to make positive change, but we need to have people get out there and understand that it's a process, and get out there and get involved and be part of the legal process. Get out there and peacefully protest. If you're peacefully protesting, I stand with you. Even if I disagree with everything you're saying, I stand with you, because that's the beautiful thing in this country, is that First Amendment right. I don't care if you say that all people that are on the promenade should be banned from telling their beliefs. I'll let you say that. I'll certainly stand up and speak out against you. But I am behind anybody who is peacefully protesting and speaking their beliefs. It's a beautiful thing. You can tell me that I'm going to hell in this country, but you can't try to send me there. You know what I mean? We all have different beliefs, and we need to celebrate that. But we need to stand up against hatred and racism whenever we see it, whenever we hear it. And we need to stand up against any sort of violence towards anybody because of their background, because of their heritage or their belief system. A lot of great things have come about in this country from people of different beliefs. A lot of people of the Christian belief have done a lot of great things, and a lot of people of Muslim belief have done a lot of great things in this country. A lot of people of Jewish belief have done a lot of great things in this country, and a lot of people who are Native American and study the spiritual background of the Native American, they have done great things in this country. We need to celebrate all those great things and stand for the right of everybody to believe as they will. But we also need to stand up against spreading hatred and racism, and certainly against any sort of violence or vandalism. That's an interesting thing about vandalism. You know, if you're burning flags as a free speech, as part of your free speech, that's beautiful. If you're burning flags to burn down something, some property or something like that, that could be used as vandalism. So you gotta watch your free speech. I have to watch my free speech. If I say that I hate something, or if I hate somebody, that's all. It's covered under free speech. But if I say I hate these people and they should be persecuted because of what they believe or what their background or something, that kind of free speech can be taken to court. And so we got to keep looking for the balance. We got to keep debating where the line is, where the line. We got to keep debating where the line is, because it's going to change. I mean, certainly some of these things weren't talked about in the very beginning of this country, when they said, Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Those are kind of blurry lines, right? And that's why there's so many court proceedings that have happened about these things. And where free speech ends and hate speech starts, we got to keep talking about these things, but keep getting out there and talking about it, and not committing violence and not promoting violence. If you're cheering on assassins, I don't care who they assassinate, you're evil. You need to be told that you're part of the problem. If you're cheering on violence, I don't care who you're cheering the violence against, you're evil, you're part of the problem, and we need to tell you. We need to stand up for peace and love. I know we weren't made to fly, but we can try. Yes, we can try. I know we weren't made to fly, but if we try, someday we'll fly high above the clouds, and we will sing out loud with joy. Oh, 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 yeah. I know we weren't made to love, but we can try. Yes, we can try. I know we weren't made to love, but if we try, someday we'll love. We'll lift each other up and share each other's pain and joy. Oh, 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 yeah. I know we weren't made to love, but if we try, someday we'll love. Someday we'll fly high above the clouds, and we will sing out loud with joy. Oh, 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 yeah. I know we weren't made for peace, but we can try. Yes, we can try. I know we weren't made for peace, but if we try, someday we'll have peace. We'll bring an end to war and give each other more joy. Oh, 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 No, we weren't made for peace. But if we try, someday we'll have peace. I know we were made. We were made to That's right. We got to keep working on it. We haven't gotten there yet. We got to keep working towards a better day. We have to keep working towards bringing common sense gun laws to the USA, towards making sure that everybody can have equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. We have to keep working to make sure that every child can have a decent public education without having to have active shooter drills every day, without being threatened by violence in their schools. That's right, I'm going to keep talking about that tonight. We should never have mass shootings in this country. Certainly never in schools or churches or synagogues or concerts or grocery stores. We shouldn't have mass shootings anywhere in this country, and we need to work on it. So you need to get involved, everybody out there. Tell your leaders, your public servants, come on, let's get common sense gun laws passed in this country. This next election, and we should make that the important thing. Instead of worrying about tariffs or this or that, let's make sure that everybody gets out and votes for common sense gun laws in the USA. If your leader isn't talking about passing common sense gun laws, let's vote him out. If your leader isn't talking about getting weapons of war off of our streets, let's vote them out and vote in somebody who will. That should be the motivating thing this next election. Are you heading on down the road there, Ethan?
Hey, Wade, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right, Diaka. Good to see you.
Always a pleasure, my guy.
I'm sorry to hear there was another mass shooting today.
Where? Indianapolis at the school?
Minnesota.
Minnesota at another school?
Yeah.
School, yeah.
Oh,
At a Catholic school, I believe.
Yeah.
Terrible. We got to keep speaking out about these things. Because obviously our leaders aren't doing enough to change them.
Commonplace now.
So we have
It
to...
doesn't happen every day. It happens every other day. There's one. Does it happen like every day or every other day? There's stuff.
Like I said, in 2023, back in 2023, we had over 46,000 gun deaths in this country, which was more than all of the wars going on around the world. And I'm sure we're doing something just like that this year. And we need to make sure that we're going to get out there and make sure our leaders pass common sense gun laws, that they get rid of the weapons of war off of our streets and make it harder for people who would do evil with guns to get a gun. People who are going through mental problems, they shouldn't have guns, and we need to make it harder for them to get them. We can do better, huh?
The person that did it killed themselves.
That's right. That's usually how it happens.
Yeah, he kills
The NRA says the only answer to a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. But usually the bad guys with the guns end up killing themselves.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how many good guys you got with guns if you're not going to get there and keep them from doing it in the first place. And as we've seen, we haven't been able to stop these mass shootings from happening by having good guys with guns, because we have over 450 million guns in this country, and we're still having these mass shootings going on all the time. So we need to make sure that it's harder for bad guys to get the guns, to get weapons of war on our streets. Love is but a song we sing, and fear the way we die. We can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. No, the bird is on the wing, and we need not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some may come and some may go, but we shall surely pass. When the one who left us here returns for us and lands, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Thank you, peace. If you hear the song I sing, then you will understand. We hold the key to love and fear in our trembling hands. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at our command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Right now. Right now. There'll be tears you'll cry, and your troubles won't be few. There'll be sunny days, and you'll have some good laughs too. So put a song in your heart, and walk on down that road. There'll be lonely times when you will not find a friend. You'll feel a lover's kiss, and then the kiss in time will end. So put a song in your heart and walk on down that road. See, the road ahead has so many turns. You'll never see what's coming just around the bend. There'll be lots of bumps along the way. Just take a step at a time till you get to the end. There'll be those who say that you were born to lose. You'll be on top of the world one day, and then the next you'll sing the blues. So put a song in your heart and walk on down that road. You see the road ahead has so many turns. You'll never see what's coming just around the bend. And there'll be lots of bumps along the way. Step at a time till you get to the end. There'll be those who say you're born to lose. You'll be on top of the world one day, and then the next you'll sing the blues. So put a song in your heart and walk on down the road. Just put a song in your heart. I walk on down the road. I walk on down the road. I walk on down the road. Get on down that road now. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, hey. That's right. We got to keep walking down that road and keep doing the best we can to make things better as we go. Because we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten to a perfect place yet. Make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better. Never make it perfect, but make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. We make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better. Never make it perfect, but make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. If any of you were worried about us making this country too perfect, if any of you thought that, hey, we've already gotten there to perfection and we better just not try to mess anything up. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, it's broken. If we're having mass shootings every day in this country, it ain't working correctly. I don't think that's the way it was envisioned. I don't think that means that we have a perfect country yet. So we need to keep working towards a better day. We need to tell our leaders, get out there and keep working, keep making things better. We need to make sure that we get some common sense gun laws passed in the USA. Get that done, you leaders. Make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better. Never make it perfect, but make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. Someone's always crying, there'll always be pain. Some need the sunshine and some need rain. The world keeps spinning, we can't slow it down, but we can help each other while it's turning around. And make it a better as we go. Make it a little bit better. Never make it perfect, but make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. That's right. We can still keep working on things before things are too perfect. We haven't gotten to that perfect union yet. We keep working to a more perfect union. We're going to work to establish justice. And we haven't established justice if we're having mass shootings in our streets every day. That's not a place where we can settle. We need to keep moving forward to a better day where our children can go to school without having to practice active shooter drills. That's right. We can make things better in this country, so let's tell our leaders, our public servants, and make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better. We haven't made it perfect. Make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. Can't solve every problem. Can't stop every crime. Oh, we can't turn back time. The world keeps spinning. We can't slow it down, but we can help each other while it's turning around. Modulation happened. And make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better. Never make it perfect, but make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. Let's try that again. Make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better. Never make it perfect, but make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better. Never make it perfect, but make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. And I'm not saying it's going to get better just by modulating or just by playing things over and over, but at least we'll be working at it. If we keep trying to make things better, if we have leaders who say, well, maybe we should try some common sense gun laws, maybe we should try outlawing weapons of war from our streets. Maybe let's go with that for a little while. Let's try that for a while. See if it doesn't make a difference. You know, we need leaders who will stand up for the human beings in this country. And if they're not gonna make the laws, they need to get out of the way, and we need to find people who will stand up for the rights of human beings. So Trump, if you want to put a law out there, you get all your Republican buddies to get a law that says we're going to get rid of all weapons of war here in the United States. Well, we're really serious about ending crime in the United States. So let's make it harder for people to have weapons of war on our streets, and let's make it harder for people to get guns on our streets in the United States of America. And I guarantee if you get that law on the books, if you get that law out there, we'll get the Democrats to follow it. You get that law out there with your Republican colleagues in Congress and say, we want to make it better for people all around this country. We're serious about ending crime in this country, so we're going to make common sense gun laws all around the country and get weapons of war off of our streets. And I bet you all the Democrats will go right along with you. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see you put that law in place. But I know you won't. I don't think you will. I think you're a shill for the weapons manufacturers, but we'll see. Because we can't keep having our children killed in their schools. That's a sad, terrible thing. And there must be lights burning brighter somewhere. Got to be birds flying higher in a sky more blue. If I can dream of a better land where all my brothers walk hand in hand, tell me why, oh why can't my dream come true? Oh, why? There must be peace and understanding somewhere. Strong winds of promise that blow away all the doubt and fear. If I can dream of a warmer sun where hope shines down on everyone, tell me why. Oh, why won't that sun appear? We're lost in a cloud with too much rain. We're trapped in a world that's troubled with pain. But as long as a man has the strength to dream, he can redeem his soul and fly. Deep in my heart, there's a trembling question. Still I am sure that the answer's gonna come somehow. Out there in the dark, there's a beckoning candle. And while I can think, while I can talk, while I can stand, while I can walk, while I can dream, feeling my dream come true. Right now, right now. That's right. We can keep working towards a better day. We've got some ways to go yet, but we can keep working towards it. So, President Trump, if you want to make a law that will ban all the weapons of war from our streets and make sure that common sense gun laws are brought to the U.S., I'll be behind you using the National Guard to make sure all those weapons of war are taken off the streets. How you doing, Ping? Good to see you. Peace. We have to work towards making common sense gun laws in this country. So if you can do that, hey, if you can get the weapons of war off of our streets, Trump, I'll even promote you for a Nobel Peace Prize. That'd be fantastic. If you can go up against the weapons manufacturers in this country and make sure that we get the weapons of war off of our streets, I'll promote you for a Nobel Peace Prize. How about that? That'd be fantastic. And then, of course, you'll end your time in office, hopefully soon, and we'll get somebody who's actually a progressive and cares about poor people. But that's a whole different story. If you will get the law passed and get the weapons of war off of our streets, I will promote you for a Nobel Peace Prize. Sing a song about peace and love. Let's sing a song. Let's sing a song about love. Let's sing about peace and love. Let's dance to a song about peace and love. Let's dance to a song about love. Let's dance to peace and love. Let's walk, let's talk, let's walk and talk about peace and love. Let's walk, let's talk, let's walk and talk about love. Let's walk, talk, peace and love. Let's dance to a song about peace and love. Let's dance to a song about love. Let's dance to peace and love. Let's sing a song. Let's sing a song about peace and love. Let's sing a song. Let's sing a song about love. Let's sing about peace and love. Let's dance to a song about peace and love. Let's dance to a song about love. Let's dance to peace and love. Hey, 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 hey. Hey. That's right. So Trump, President Trump, if you get the weapons of war off of our streets and we stop having mass shootings every day, if you get a law in place that will make it harder for people with mental problems, going through mental situations, if you make it harder for them to get guns, and if you make the background checks, universal background checks in every state for every gun sold, if you make it common sense gun laws in the USA, I will promote you for a Nobel Prize. That's right. I sure would like to see that. I don't think you will. I think you're a shill for the weapons manufacturers. Prove me wrong, please. Please prove me wrong. We need somebody to stand up for human beings, stand up for common sense gun laws, stand up for the rights of our children to go to school without having active shooter drills, stand up for the rights of human beings to go to church and synagogue and Muslim temples and all the different kinds of religious temples that we have in this country. People should be able to go there without worrying about being shot. People should be able to go to concerts, to go to grocery stores, to just live in the United States without worried about being shot. We can do better. We haven't gotten there yet. We We got to keep working towards a better day, keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all, housing the homeless, good quality health care, good public education, and common sense gun laws in the USA. Tell your leaders, let's keep working towards a better day. Have you killed a gun today? Have you sent a gun away? Have you helped to solve a crime before it's done? See, the gun won't even mind. It's not part of humankind. Everyone should kill a gun. Have you killed a gun today? Have you put a gun away? Have you ended it before its deadly run? See, the gun won't feel no pain. It doesn't even have a brain. Everyone should kill a gun. Everyone should kill a gun today. There's more guns than people in the US of A. Guns don't feel, they don't bleed, they don't cry. Everyone should kill a gun. Everyone should kill a gun. Now you know I'm not a fool. I know guns are just a tool. But these deadly tools have been ruling us too long. We're in the middle of a war. The enemy's inside our door. Everyone should kill a gun. Everyone should kill a gun today. It really pisses off the NRA. Guns don't feel, they don't bleed, they don't cry. Everyone should kill a gun. Everyone should kill a gun today. There's more guns than people in the US of A. Guns don't feel, they don't laugh, they don't love. Everyone should kill a gun.